Hey guys, welcome back. Tisha here, back with another Sister Wives Season 16 review. Go ahead and do me a favor and hit the like button because we have some things to talk about, y'all. This episode for me really showed how fake, dangerous, and manipulative that the bird is. Because during one of the most terrifying, isolating, confusing times of life, Meri was alone. She wasn't being checked on by Kody. She wasn't being checked on by her friend, the bird. The one person who admittedly was checking in on her and texting her was Janelle. And Janelle doesn't even like her. Meri was being safe, quarantining alone, following the rules, and that bird who is supposed to love her, who is supposed to care about her, who is supposed to advocate for her, who is supposed to be her friend, never invited her over, not even to sit outside and play. But the feather people have a nanny? A lady who they don't even monitor? A lady that they know comes in contact with at least one other person, which would be her husband? A lady that they don't know how safe she's being once she leaves their household. They don't know what she does. Christine doesn't even know, what does the nanny do? But yet, this lady, the nanny, is allowed in their house however many times a week to take care of kids that are currently enrolled in school, but it's via the internet because it's not in person, number one. And number two, who are all of age where they can do things on their own with maybe some assistance when it comes to Saul, but Ari's not even in school. Why does the bird need help? Why does she need a nanny when nothing is going on? And all of those things considered, Meri isn't allowed to come over there, but that nanny is. Come on. Y'all, I'm trying to be calm because y'all know I get to talking loud when I get worked up. So we begin this episode being reminded of how jacked up, I'm going to call it like I see it, how jacked up this family is. Moving to Flagstaff was the first strain. Well, really, the bird being there was the first strain, but that they're admitting on camera. Moving to Flagstaff was the first strain on the family. And then the pandemic created another one. So there's been a major breakdown in communication. Every discussion that we've seen thus far has been about the pandemic and the rules and the separation. Kody is still at Robyn's, hoping to be able to resume visiting the other two households at some point because we know that he doesn't consider Meri's household. So he's on his way to Christine's to touch base, talk about things, talk about Isabel, whatever. They've been back now for a week, so they are still quarantining. Kody is hoping that COVID will soon go away so that they can get back to a normal relationship. I don't quite understand this narrative that Kody is spinning where he conveniently blames certain things on the pandemic when we already know that they were having problems prior to this. Isabel is recovering from her surgery. She's still in a lot of pain to the point where Christine says that there are times where she'll ask her if she's getting better, if today feels better than yesterday. And she's saying that it feels the same. It seems like it's a longer healing process than they understood. So she's struggling with that, as well as the fact that her father was not and is not there. Christine reminds Kody that even the doctors were shocked, like the rest of us, that he wasn't there. And he claims to regret not going to the surgery, but he doesn't want to keep talking about it because what's done is done. And he wants Isabel to hurry up and recover so that it can make him feel so much better about it. It's always about how that bald eagle feels. His daughter has screws that are permanently embedded in her spine. And his response is, I want her to feel better so I can feel better. When I don't really feel like he's troubled right now. Because I don't see you when you're over there saying, is Isabel up? Can you have her come to the door? Can I see her go into her bedroom window? Nothing. He makes absolutely no effort, but yet he wants to get points for, I don't know, asking about her. It just doesn't make sense. Kody hopes that Isabel doesn't resent him all her life because he wasn't there when she needed him the most. The decision for him that he made not to come there altered the course of their relationship. I feel like in that very moment, he showed his daughter that she did not matter enough to him. And as a result, that changed their dynamic. Because to this day, she looks uncomfortable around him. And it may be because she hasn't really been able to verbalize what it is that she feels towards him. He asks Christine if she can go back to socially distancing. He wants them to stop going places and to stop having people come over. And Christine is looking at him like, I'm not feeling that. There's no way I'm going to do that. Christine reminds him that if they go out, people want to talk to them, that family wants to see them, that they are around people that are like, it's good to see you. He then goes to interrupt her and she's like, no, finish listening. Understand that Christine is saying all of this on camera because she wants us as well as Kody to know that when he's around, they do not enjoy the time that they have with them. This season of Christine is a Christine that's opening up Pandora's box and shedding some light on things. And she's letting it be known that he does not really engage with them. She says, you aren't around. And if you do come over, it's only like twice a week. And he says, no, it's not twice a week. It's 3 or 4 times a week. And she's like, no, it's twice a week. And he's like 3 to 4 times. She's like, at this point, it's semantics. But we know that he's lying because there's no way he's over there that much. If you sat there and told us that you alternate days between the different households, how would you be there 3 to 4 times a week when there's only 7 days in a week? It's not making sense because 3 to 4 would imply that you were only at Robyn's for 2 days. Yeah, right. Who believes that? Who believes that? The bird lets us know that he spends equal time in the home. That pre-COVID, he spent equal time in the home. And we know that's a lie because both Janelle and Christine have stated that Kody did not spend equal time in the homes. And Kody later admits in another season that he would leave their homes to come to Robyn's home and get her kids ready for school. So how are you spending equal time in the homes if you're leaving first thing in the morning to get those kids ready for school? That means you're not spending that time that you would normally spend with that first household, with that household. She said since COVID, it's been about the behaviors of each household. That's what the bird says. That determines whether or not he comes over there. And I guess that's her speaking Kody. Before, we're told he would spend 2 nights at each home. Everybody's, of course, but Meri, because he loves to remind us that him and Meri aren't married. Janelle says now he comes longer and he's gone longer. I don't quite know what that means, but Janelle didn't give a time period on it. For Janelle, though, it makes sense. Kody stopped making an effort, he says, with Christine when she started traveling. He says she was traveling like some of those travels that she was doing did not involve her child's health. Christine is like, look, y'all, this is where we don't agree. If Kody does come by, he doesn't come by until dinner time, which would be like around 5. We would have dinner, and while we would have dinner, he would spend majority of the time on his phone. We know this is true because she's told us this in other ways. He'd watch a movie, then go to bed. Then he'd be gone in the morning before the girls even got up. Meaning, him staying there was a formality. I'm coming over so you can't say I didn't come over. I'll spend a little bit of time over here so she can't say I didn't come. Christine says it would be better if he spent days with us because she knows he is somewhere spending whole days with them. That references to the bird. She says, hanging out with you, Kody, just isn't enough for my girls. He says, I mean, you were basically in New York or New Jersey on vacation, Christine. Mother bleep 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 bleep. Insert all of the 4-letter words you can think of. This man really just said she was basically in New York or New Jersey on a vacation. Did this dirtbag, this clown, this visor-wearing, permanent part-having fool really sit there and call preparation for his daughter's surgery a vacation? Christine is better than myself. I'm beginning to think that in this episode, Christine was a saint because the way that I would have been on Kody, those cameras would have had to shut off. Because how are you calling preparation where I have to be in quarantine for 2 weeks before we even go to see the doctor and then have a surgery that is going to take her a lot of time to heal from, and then we have to quarantine again before we can get back on a flight? How in the world could you sit there and call preparation for surgery where you go in and out of the hospital and all those other things to be prepared to do x-rays and all these other things vacation? He says, how does them preferring to be around other people play out long term with the relationship? He tells us he has people in his family that aren't like that with him. He has people that are basically putting him first. If you do not make Kody feel like he's all-knowing, all-powerful, the best man in the world, then there is a problem. His ego cannot handle it. He then talks about how people need to start making choices on whether he's going to be involved in their lives or if they're going to go on vacation. It's the way he keeps talking about some of these things like it's vacation, because when he's saying that, he's not just talking about Christine, he's talking about Janelle too, because he's mad at Janelle for going to see Maddie at times. This is what he does. He's so negative. He's so disrespectful. He adds, she's not even thinking about truly having kidney failure in the past when it comes to this pandemic. Look at how long it took for him to think about Truly. And of course, he would think about her when it's convenient, whether I agree with Christine's precautions or not. I don't like the fact that the bald eagle is trying to make it seem like Christine was deliberately putting her kids in harm's way, when I do not think that was her intentions. He said he has gone through 6 months of kids calling him saying that this whole situation is dumb and is dumb. And what he wants them to do is he wants them to change their behavior. Christine says, Kody is sitting here saying all this stuff, and what he's basically trying to tell me is that I'm misbehaving. He says, I feel slighted. And she says, you're saying you feel slighted, but quarantine is your decision. He says, no, and catches himself. I said, he was about to say, no, it's not his decision. He then says, we all agreed to this so I could see everybody. I don't really feel like they all agreed to it. I feel like he came up with that idea, him and Robyn. Meri definitely agreed. The others were like, we'll see how it plays out in the beginning, but they've been wanting to get back together. Christine said, we made that agreement 6 months ago. And she just doesn't feel like they should still be doing that at this point. We then see Janelle, who says, look, we mask up, we sanitize, we social distance at our home. Robyn says the same thing, but she adds the fact that she's not visiting people and people don't visit her. But that's a lie, because if you have the nanny in your home, that would be a visitor. Kody says, Christine's values and desires for me to be in her life is a lot different than, let's say, Robyn. He points out that the bird is the one who makes the most effort, that Christine isn't like the bird because Christine isn't supporting the bigger picture of the family, but the bird does. What picture is he talking about? Is he talking about the picture and how it relates to the pandemic? Because Christine has been supporting the bigger picture of the family for years, to the point where she suppressed her feelings for years because of the bigger picture. But Kody likes to act like Christine is just this person who's always going against things, when for years she was following his lead. Christine says, I don't get what the difference is between what I do and how I'm handling things versus what your nanny does. And I said, ooh, Christine, tell more. Kody looks like he gets a little busted when she says that. And then he tells us, like, look, we have an employee. We call her a nanny. Just say she's a nanny. And she helps with the schooling of the kids and caring for them. Why did they need someone to help care for the kids when at this point they're doing work remotely? What exactly does Robyn do? Robyn can't help with schooling at this point, because I don't think she's helping the high schoolers. I really don't. I think that nanny is there cooking and cleaning and doing stuff that the bird just isn't capable of doing. Then Kody tells us that she covers the schooling and stuff, and that the husband shops. How dumb do they think we are? And regardless if the husband shops or not, she at some point comes into contact with that husband that shops. The two of them are still coming into contact with each other. Christine wants to know what the nanny and her husband do so differently that allows them to come into that house, because her girls are not allowed to come over there. She says, we've followed the rules, and Isabel can't come to see her siblings. Kody says, Christine is not keeping the same rules. She's not doing the same thing. She's full of shh. Yeah. He says she was full of crap. Christine says, if we can't do Thanksgiving together, Kody, I'm leaving. Kody is over this conversation. He doesn't like what he's hearing, and he's going to have to hurry up and figure out what these rules are so he can make sure that he presents it to Christine. He doesn't say that, but that's what I think happened. You tell me what happened. So he's like, I'm done trying to have this conversation. What I'm going to do is, in hopes of maintaining this argument and having backup, we're going to talk about this tomorrow, because he can't stand on his own feet. After he leaves, Christine wonders to us if Kody even cares to really have the family together again. He claims he wants to, but he says there is a fundamental breakdown of trust in the family. All right, we're done with that. Mykelti and Tony are in town for their gender reveal. Mykelti wants to do a home birth, but Tony is against it completely. Most of the Brown family have done births, at home. Janelle did half and half. Christine did all hers at home with the exception of Truly. Robyn, she's for home births. I don't know how many she did at home, but she's for home births. I feel like either way, whatever you decide to do, whether it's at home or in the hospital, you're taking a risk. I think a lot of times because birth happens so frequently, we forget how much a woman's body goes through during that process. And as a result of that, do whatever you feel works best for you. As far as I'm concerned, for me, hospital birth is the way for me to go because I'm too paranoid about what might happen to me, especially after all the stuff that I went through in my first pregnancy. All right. Kody lets us know that he's wearing a mask at this party, even though they're outside, to remind everyone that they need to be socially distant. Funny how we see Kody wearing a mask outside, but he doesn't wear one when he's in public. You can wear a mask outside to remind people to socially distance, but you didn't wear one at the wedding when you were officiating. You didn't wear one at the wedding when you were dancing with all those people. You didn't wear one when people caught you and Robyn in the mall shopping and neither one of y'all had a mask, and you took pictures with strangers. But you want to remind us of the importance of wearing a mask. I'm just saying, it's such a double standard here, so much hypocrisy here. Mykelti and Tony are going to be staying at a hotel while they're in town, but they're going to be hanging out with Christine and them because we don't see social distance between Christine and them as they're standing there. They're going to be in close contact with that family. The couple attempt a foam experiment to reveal the gender of the baby, but it fails. It was supposed to turn the color of the gender, but they didn't use enough dye. So Christine is the backup plan. She turns around, opens up her shirt. It's a girl. Everyone is excited. And Christine points out what amazing parents she feels like Tony and Mykelti are going to be. She says they're fun and they communicate so well. And as she's talking, you can tell the things that she's saying and describing about her kids are things that she wants for herself, but it's probably something that she's not getting. She says they talk all the time and she loves watching them. And as they announce it's a girl, Kody lets us know that Ariella May will be so excited. Who cares about Ariella May's excitement? It's so weird that he said it. I guess he's saying she'd be excited because it's another girl, but why are we just pointing out this one child when we have so many others? So, because the bald eagle got called out basically on his hypocrisy when he was with Christine, because she talked about the nanny, because she asked, what is the nanny doing that allows her to be around the family? Now, Ramen Head has come up with some rules. Robyn says, today we're going to Meri's. I guess Kody has come up with some detailed rules about how we get together as a family. What do you mean, you guess? This is what bothers me about the bird. She always tries to insult us like you didn't have this conversation with Kody already, like the two of you didn't converse about this and discuss this situation. Because in my opinion, they came up with these rules after the question was asked, what do you all do? Because if he had this whole list, he could have very easily, since he's always on the phone, texted to Christine, took a picture of it, emailed to it, whatever, if he had it months ago, but he didn't. So the wives and Kody are meeting up at Meri's to discuss the situation on how they can actually get together again. Janelle says, this is a source of frustration to me that we cannot agree on something after all of this time. Christine says, look, I'm glad we're revisiting this though. Kody starts off by addressing Christine and how, you asked me about the nanny and you wanted to know why the nanny is allowed to be with the kids and what the nanny is doing. So I've, written down some rules that I've printed out that the nanny and her husband must follow. Christine can't wait to look at them because she's been eagerly awaiting this thing. He says he sanitized them. I don't quite understand how he sanitized them. Maybe they're in a protective cover. Some stuff looked like it, but some didn't. Are they laminated? Because we all know that Kody is a finger licker. So I would have wanted to see him sanitize it, especially since he made such a big deal about them doing it. As I said, I don't never see him walking with hand sanitizer or wipes or any of these things that supposedly he just has, okay? Christine is extra curious to look at this stuff so she can understand what is going on here. Meri says, as he's handing it out, as Robyn grabs it, you know, the rules that you made up. She laughs, says she's teasing. And I'm just glad she said it. Kody says, I just checked with our nanny and said, what are you doing? If you, let me go back. I put on the caption on the television to make sure I wasn't seeing things. If these rules already existed, if Kody already had provided these to the nanny, then why would he have to check in with the nanny to see what she's doing? Secondly, he later tells us in confessional that those rules came from his doctor. So which is it? Did they come from you asking the nanny what she was doing? Did they come from him making them for the nanny? Or did they come from the doctor? Because you're telling all types of different stories here. And it's showing your feathers. It's showing your feathers. Them things are molting left and right. You are showing your feathers, Kody, and it's not looking good. You're looking a little patchy there, a little patchy. You need some more pruning. You're struggling. Robyn is offended by what Meri says. She says, no, actually, I didn't. So I'm just going to say this out loud. I know everybody is suspicious of me. Just please stop. Like, just don't be suspicious of me. It's crickets. And those crickets speak volumes to me because his precious bird is talking and Kody is looking down at the paper. He's not giving her eye contact. I think because he knows Robyn's lying. You all tell me what you think. Janelle and Christine look at each other. There's a little bit of a smirk there, and they're like, because in my opinion, they know that this is a bunch of crap. She says, just realize that Kody has made these rules, okay? Kody tells us that the bird got defensive because of how Meri was saying what she's saying. And then Meri tried to act like she was kidding because the bird got defensive. Now, I don't know whether or not Meri was being serious or not. I'm leaning towards she wasn't, because Meri always makes these awkward jokes that I don't really think is always that funny. Sometimes the stuff that she jokes about to lighten up the mood make me a little bit uncomfortable and I cringe for her. And because she made this statement, it's like she's pounced upon when I don't really think she meant anything by it. Then Meri, in her confessional on the couch, she tells us she's offended because by now they should know her position, that she will defend Robyn all day, every day. And I said, Meri, that's the problem. You've spent so much time worrying about defending Robyn and bigging up Robyn and building a connection with Robyn that you've neglected yourself and you've allowed the feather people to run over top of you. She then apologizes to Robyn. Kody reminds Meri it's not about her, but rather some of the kids that have blamed Robyn. If it's not about her, why'd you snap on her? He says, kids that don't like the rules that are specifically blaming Robyn. If you have a problem with something that one of the kids have said to you, why are you not discussing the situation with that kid and that mother? Instead, you decide to have this conversation where you're not directly saying names in front of all these moms. If I was there, I would have shut it down. Because if I know you're talking about my child, don't talk about my child amongst these women that you say our relationships are separate with. Do this when it's me and you. Robyn says it's not on her. She didn't make up these rules. Their dad, Kody, isn't someone to be run over by his wives. And I said, yes, he is, but maybe not knowingly. Because Robyn has managed to make Kody feel like he's come up with this stuff when he knows he hasn't. She then says she needs them to stop directing this stuff her way. I don't know what's happening in your homes. I don't know what's being said, but stop having it directed towards me. And of course, because she said this, now Kody feels like the moms are talking bad about Robyn. She says, I can't have Ariella stay and Saul stay 2 weeks away from Kody. I can't. I just don't understand why anybody would think that I'm behind this. Why me? They don't know who I am if they would think this of me. That I would try to cause some sort of disharmony in the family. Bird. They know exactly who you are. That's why they think you did it. And they're right, you did do it. And the look of Christine and Janelle say it all. You did it. Kody then says in confessional, these are the rules that my doctor has given us. And these are the rules that we're making our nanny abide. So Kody told on himself right there, because Kody can't remember his original lie, because he said one thing when they were outside, and now that they're on the couch, he's saying something else. We all remember, we all know it's hard to remember a lie. If it was really told to you by your doctor, then you would have said that in the beginning instead of all the other different things that you said. Janelle says, look, I hear what they're saying, and I'm not going there. Let's just say that there's a lot of drama. Janelle tells us she had wanted these rules months ago. Where were the rules months ago? Why are they now suddenly being presented? Showing Janelle is onto them. Now, she's not saying it, but you got to read in between the lines with Janelle. She's onto them. She feels like some of the rules are great, but she can't get with the clean the male with alcohol wipes. So here's the list that we're given. Wear mask in public, sanitize hands after shopping, clean male with alcohol wipes, remove shoes outside, change clothes after outside exposure. A lot of this stuff we didn't see Kody doing, by the way. I'm just saying. No restaurants, only takeout, limit shopping, curbside pickup, 2-week quarantine after vacation, no gym, no movie theaters, social distance when with friends. And Janelle says, those are the rules. Here's the 10 billion commandments of COVID. Of Kody or something she said. Kody's COVID. I can't remember how she put it. I want to know if there's more rules and they just cut off some of the list, because there seemed to be more on that paper than what was read. And I got to be honest with those rules that were read. I don't like the bald eagle. But the only thing that I didn't do on that list was sanitize my mail. Matter of fact, after I left from outside, whether it be the store or when I had to go back to work or work, when I came in the house, the first thing I did was toss my clothes in the dryer and go take a shower. And spray the living room and do all that extra stuff that I did. So I hear that list and it doesn't sound that major to me. You all tell me what you think. I think that they left some things off. Janelle says, I guess I'll leave the gifts outside the house. And Kody says, you can mock it or get with it. He then says in confessional, are you too lazy to do a little bit of chores? All these are little chores. Kody is extremely disrespectful with the way that he talks. He is. Because I don't know how to say this, but the bird's house ain't all that put together. So what do you mean, is she too lazy? Christine and Janelle don't like the list of rules. They don't feel like it's feasible. Robyn says it's not that hard. If it means that Kody is in her home, then that's what she's going to do. Meri feels the same way. Meri just wants him in her home. Christine asks she's like, you guys if we follow these rules, if my family follows these rules, can we get together for Christmas? You guys tell me what you think. I thought that this was a general statement. I thought it was just a question that she was asking, and she happened to be looking in the direction of the bird. But tell me what you think. Because if she was intentionally looking at the bird when she asked that question, Christine just scored points with me. Because in a way, that would be her calling out the bird to let it be known, like, look, I know it's you, even though y'all are trying to act like it's him. I know it's you. And I'd love for him to call those feathered people out. She's like, ooh, y'all. Jiggly, Lord. Ooh, that's terrible. Okay, I'm going to hold it like this. She's like. And I have the nerve to have weights in the house and ain't picked up nothing. That is ridiculous. I'm going to have to watch this so I could see that jiggle, because that just looked awful. So she's pointing to Kody. Okay. She's pointing to Kody. And she's smiling, trying to act like it's him. And Kody says, are you the head of the family? I was like, gracious. He's sitting on the couch. It's pissing me off that they are looking to Robyn for some kind of approval. I don't have a head wife in this family. He said, I had wives that try to be head wives. We then get to Robyn. And y'all know Robyn is going to put on another show. This is why it is so ridiculous to think that I made up these rules. Because I know Kody is like this. He's not going to have a wife come in and try to tell him what to do. He's just not. Janelle is over it. See, this is what I get. I think I got an eyelash in my eye. I think I got an eyelash in my eye, y'all. Janelle is over it, right? Kody feels so betrayed because of the way things are going. Yet, Janelle says, at this point, even if we followed all the rules, nothing would happen because they would always believe that someone was lying. She adds that she has been obeying the government. Robyn says she has followed these rules for 7 months. Do you want a cookie? Do you want a cookie? Christine says, I can understand why Robyn has to follow it because she needs to. Because Kody is there all the time. But he is not at my house all the time, so I don't need to follow it. Janelle says, look, you say you've been doing it for 7 months. And she's smiling like, she says, this would give me a mental health crisis if I had to go through all of that on a daily basis. Kody feels like they're saying all of this and he's being undermined. Christine says, we should be able to question things without it being a problem. And she talks to us and she says, I feel like this is a dictatorship, not a marriage. And at this point, that's what he wants it to be. Robyn says, just do it so we can see each other. And Meri says she just wants everybody to get along. Janelle tells everybody, I'll follow the rules so we can, hang together for Christmas. but I have adult kids in my house, so it's different. Kody says, maybe the mistake of me and Janelle is us not being romantic enough, and maybe we need to change that and be more romantic so she could pick me over the kids. Janelle, even if you were being more romantic, is still going to pick her kids. She says to us, she will always choose her kids. Christine shares she's not going to be there for Thanksgiving. She will be out of state with her kids, with the ones that live out of state, the married ones. And Janelle says, I won't be there either, but I'll be here for Christmas. Robyn questions Meri, wanting to know her opinion. And Meri is like, it doesn't really have anything to do with me because I've been quarantining. The bird says, yeah, you and I have been sitting, waiting for us to be able to have you to come over. Pay attention to the way that the bird speaks, because sometimes she says things to me that are suggestive. She says, I've been quarantining and I haven't been seeing anyone, in hopes that if I do this, that I'll be able to spend time with you guys, Robyn, and I'll keep doing it and I'll keep waiting. This statement shocks Janelle and Christine because they're realizing that Meri this entire time has been alone. Meri is dumb. Meri wants to be able to see Robyn and the kids, so she's being by herself. She's holding back. She says, I haven't tried to come because you and Kody haven't authorized me to come. I've been doing it, quarantining, but you guys keep saying it's not time yet. The bird then suggests stuff to her again, and she says, no, that's not what I said. I said Kody has to make the decision. She's going to make sure she gets it off of her when it's on her. Kody has to make the decision. I don't know how it's going to blow over with the whole family if you and I are interacting and nobody else is. That's what you told Meri, but that's not what she told Kody when Kody asked her before, because we even saw him ask if it was okay to have, Ariella sit on the lap, and she didn't really answer him, and she's leaving all of that stuff out. Christine doesn't get why they haven't been hanging out. Neither does Meri. The family feels like their foundation is crumbling. Kody feels like there's a lack of loyalty, and it's not going to be good 5 to 10 years down the line. It's even sooner than that, because them women are out. Because it's not going to be good because he wanted to punish them, but they left before they could get all the punishment. They all leave, but Robyn comes back because Robyn has to make sure that she plants that seed to keep Meri coming back to the nest and put her exactly where she wants her to be, which is pining to spend time with her. She hugs her. They put their foreheads together, and Robyn starts to do her fake cry. And I said, what happened to the COVID rules? They went out the window just like that? She hugs her and she goes, we get to schedule play dates and we get to hang out with each other. And then she's like, oops, I forgot I'm not supposed to hug, but God will cover it. Meri says, I don't know why you waited so damn long. Why did we have to wait this long to have this conversation? Robyn says, I didn't want everybody to get mad. Please stop acting like it was my choice. It was her choice. Meri says, I wasn't pointing my finger at you, Robyn, when I said that. Robyn says, and don't act like I was trying to keep us away, because I wasn't. Meri says, I was totally joking with you because I thought it was funny, because Kody's giving you a list of rules that you guys already abide by. The fact that she said that lets you know it's not a list that she ever had, because if she had it, why would she need it? So y'all tell me whether you think Meri was serious or not, because I just thought about that. She says, I thought it was silly. Robyn says, it took me to understand. It took me a minute to understand you were joking. Okay, it did. There's rumors and that somehow I'm somehow pulling strings here. And that's the most hilarious thing in the world, because have you ever known Kody to let a wife sit and pull strings to the point like this kind of craziness? No, Kody is his own man. I couldn't have pulled this off. She is trying to change the narrative because it's not true. Why are you trying so hard to convince Meri of this if it's not the truth? She goes, the strictness. And all I wanted was to be able to come over, you know, you to come over and be around the kids. I just didn't want everybody upset if we were doing something against, you know, like the set of rules or whatever. So he gave his blessing to Meri and Robyn to get together. But it was Robyn who put a stop to it. Robyn ruled Kody because he said you can do it. And she was like, no, what about everybody else? She made the decision to keep Meri isolated. They go back and forth. Meri says it's fine. Bird says people would feel like we weren't being honest, yada, yada, yo. If these people really communicated and if they took time to sit there, all they had to do was ask the other wives. And the other wives would have did like what they just did, where they would say they didn't see the problem with it. Robyn says, my kids ask about you all the time. Meri says, that's good that you've got your kids and Kody, pointing out that she doesn't have that. She goes, I just didn't know what to do. You know, he's so strict. There's so many rules. So now I'm just happy that we're talking about it for the first time. She keeps trying to put it on Kody, but it's not Kody because we saw Kody asking you when he was on FaceTime if it's okay that he's this close and if it's okay this. Kody was always deferring to the bird. So how could it be him being strict? It's her being strict. At Coyote Pass, Kody wasn't worried about the social distance. He didn't say anything about it till he kept hearing his bird squawk. Squawk. Oh, wait. Birds don't squawk. Peep, 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 peep. She's such a liar. So she says, I love Meri. I hate that she's alone. I want her to be happy. You know, if I could wave a magic wand that, you know, would say what I want to say, that I would make it so that Meri was happy, that her and Kody could figure stuff out, but I can't. I cannot express enough how hard it is to be in a plural family where, you know, my husband and his wife, his other wife is having a problem, and it completely affects my life because it's always about her. You know, it always is about her. But I'm really supposed to stay out of it, and I have to, you know, to say, you know, I have no say about anything that goes on, you know. The lines are hard between our relationship. Different marriages. Because it's like, okay, you gotta respect that she's got her own relationship with Kody. But at the same time, their relationship affects yours. And right now, I'm going through it. Because Kody is having, you know, some of his other relationships, you know, are shifting our relationship. You know, it's really hard. How does she know that Kody is having a hard time with his other relationships? He's telling her. So she loves to act like she's not a part of this and she's not a part of that. But here she is letting us know that she's a part. That's all I got. Sorry this was long. I don't know how this is being dragged out like this. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do we think of this episode? Do we think, let's do this. Whose rules were they? This is how I know if you made it to the end. Who came up with the rules? The bird or the bald eagle? Until next time.